We were gathering, for example, information on account balance status of the customer, so you can basically predict the moment of the month when the customer runs out of the cash, and that would be the moment when you actually try to sell something on him.
And then people think that phone is listening me, but actually you don't even need listening phone. You just need some data points, and you're able to predict stuff, right?
He knows your every single interaction with the company since forever.
Yep.
He never went for a smoking break.
Yep.
He never went to a maternity leave and then dropped out for 2 years. He can, as your pitch patterns, for example, track the mood or swings. What is your kind of how you build the conversations. I think there's a very nice quote made by Mr. Joseph Stalin. He said that death of a person is a tragedy, death of a million people is statistics. I think we as humans are very selfish, so I think somehow something bad will happen in the end.
With AI?
Yeah.
Oh. Welcome to another episode of AI Ranch, where we discuss business and AI. And today with me, I have a special guest, Mārtiņš Tomsons, who is the business leader, a data-driven guy, sales guy, and he has led operations in Vandu Finance Group, Kairos Distribution, Medical Distribution, Finance, FinTech, all sorts of good stuff. And we will discuss AI, sales process, decision-making, and other things. Welcome.
Hi. Well, happy to be here.
When was the last time when AI actually inspired you?
I think it's super inspiring to have basically you can build you don't have to build a big office building with people. You can have virtual entities. You don't have to buy all the desks, computers, and everything. And there is a working organism. So of course it's super inspiring. I think. Every time you hear a weird Instagram video where build a business with AI, you kind of think that there maybe is a crazy teenager working with his mom and his kind of bedroom doing a thing which actually can be scaled and can become bigger and he can succeed. I think that's very inspiring.
It's again the time invention of computer, invention of smartphone, right? This shift of thinking, right?
Yes.
So what kind of shift of thinking have you seen already in business leaders? Is there something that they need to change how they operate, how they think in this age of AI?
Yeah, I think one of the things is you have to be a bit cautious about data quality and what is there and how it works. My grandpa, who was actually a nuclear physicist, he had
nuclear physicist.
Yeah, he had diploma.
So
nuclear
wait.
Physicist.
So we are in the place of the world where there was a Soviet Union.
Yeah.
So he was a nuclear physicist in the Soviet Union.
He was sent to Gulag, and there was actually he liked electronics, but he really liked.
We need to specify. So Gulag, not because he did something wrong, right?
His brother did something wrong. He actually during the wartime. He, with a boat, transferred people to Sweden. So
and
refugees.
This is something wrong?
That is wrong. All the family got punished and sent to Siberia. Yeah.
So, but again, just for the listeners listening, there was a time here when people got punished, sending to Gulag for things that normally would not consider wrong, right?
Yeah, Soviet Union. Crazy. Yeah.
Welcome to the communism, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, he actually he liked electronics, but he got a diploma in nuclear physics. There's a lot of fun stories. When I grew up, for example, I didn't listen to Winnie Spooks or kind of fairy tale stories, but he actually kind of explained me how reactors work, for example. So.
Bedtime story of reactor?
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah. Okay.
So and he was sent there, and
what is the data part? So I'm back here. So he had this saying that he quote that he kind of borrowed from another famous guy, which said basically you can understand things only when you can explain to other person in a very simple way. So, and I think in a place where a lot of things are being generated, this element is being lost big time. So, I think that is one of the struggles we have.
You're saying that the business leaders who now live in this new reality, they should educate themselves so that they can teach their own people. They're confident on things that they're implementing, or what are you saying?
I'm trying to say that you actually have to kind of keep a track or common ground to understand how the picture works, because if you have at least some understanding what is the outcome, it is like 3 or 4 million or blue, then you kind of read what the result is, and you kind of, okay, this makes sense. But if the expected result is like 3, but you get blue, for example, and you think, yes, that's good answer, I think we are screwed.
Yeah, but you have these memes where who wants the AI, right? Everyone won't know, don't understand what it is, just implement it.
Yes.
So that's not the optimal way. But so your approach in your businesses that you're doing multiple things. How are you making sure that you stay on top of these AI developments? Like, in sense, are you able to explain your people how this works, and what is your way of staying on top?
Yeah, most probably we are on very basic knowledge or usage. It's more tool based, let's say like that. But on that level, I think you can at least assess the end result, and then it's fine. Also, you also have to take into consideration that errors happen, and you have to kind of leave some room for errors, and that's not a very bad thing. The good or the important part is you don't end up in a very kind of large court case with screw ups and fuck ups.
Okay. Do you have already some examples where you screwed up something, or?
No, thanks God, not. It's
no,
it's not at that scale.
But there is actually, I think what is the quote that if you don't break things, you're doing something wrong. I think like it says that if you push limits, of course something will break, if something will go wrong, but at least you're pushing limits. So you're not pushing limits.
Okay, challenge me, maybe.
Anyways, but from the data, as you said in the so from data, I read about you that you're like very data-driven guy, and have you ever seen some situations where data surprised you with something, and you would go with your gut some other direction, but data showed you better go there?
Yeah, I think especially when you kind of work in a very kind of small organizations or startups, I think that's like daily life basically. You thought that you're building something and you want to sell it there, but you end up selling it somewhere else. So like the strategy shifts. That's like everyday thing. So yeah, of course.
Yeah, but this is not that easy. There is this emotional investment. And how you overcome this? Like, I never had this. Like, think this product is the best product. Yeah. go, and then like when you look back 5 years, you think what I was thinking then.
Yeah, for sure. But I think, to be honest, I think there are like the pets that you grow just for fun of growing. Maybe that's like those areas. But if you kind of attach some business result to it, it's like, I mean, if it works, then it works. You can even leave it alone; it still works, and you can do something else.
That's lucky if you can just leave some pets alive. Often they just die when you're not investing.
True.
But then, So how do you see, like, is AI making your life easier or more complex nowadays? You know, like you probably started using data even before all of this generative AI, and now this changes things a bit, right?
Yeah. In my opinion, I think we're kind of still like really kind of in baby steps.
Exactly.
And so therefore.
By the way, not only you, the whole industry actually.
But
like,
the hype is that everything works already.
Yeah. Like they say we are on the Gartner hype cycle top, and then we'll just any minute will burst and will drop down. But the reality is all business numbers show that we're in the very bottom of the hype.
Yeah, exactly. So I think like currently what we experience is like tools or kind of some segments of these things. And on that level, it's, I think, still doable to kind of comprehend and understand how it works and what is the expected outcome and stuff. To be honest, I'm not sure what happens when you kind of attach it in several kind of layers, and then the outcomes are like a cooperative
swarm intelligence.
Yeah, then that's crazy. Then even maybe it's it's hard to grasp.
It works in nature, like you see birds flying right in one direction. That there is no some kind of system that unifies them. Each bird thinks of themselves, but they are all moving in the same direction. We can look at that as well in the business systems.
Makes sense. So basically, if you can attach end results to that, so that the birds actually have to arrive somewhere or not start falling down.
Winter is coming.
Then actually kind of if you have like a really kind of strong like North Star where the end result should be, then you can attach several things, and if you at least move in that direction, then it's fine. Yeah, maybe
totally.
that's the answer.
But then like going back to that question, my experience is like I literally published one scientific work like a couple of months ago. Like if I do the same scientific publication 5 years ago, I would be very happy with the result very quickly. But now, because I see all of these great tools, right, I was not able to submit it. I was just like, I can do better. I can do even better. Like it's already like 10 times better than 5 years ago, but I know I can do better with these AI tools. Have you ever experienced something like that already?
Okay, so you're kind of the guy who wants to kind of
I'm definitely
improve.
Not perfectionist, 100% not. But it's just that I know that the limit is much higher with these tools. Like you can pass the basic stuff, right, or you can do something excellent, and I think it applies also in some like operations management, sales, all sorts of these things, and if the competition grows, everybody is starting using these tools. You have no other choice, right?
Yeah, it's quite often actually for sales guys, for example, when you kind of train them, they want to have like be very ready for the discussion, very ready to kind of they have the best an offer or whatever, like best suit or whatever. Now I'm ready to go there, so they're kind of not ready to kind of go and do it. I think that is quite important, because sometimes when you do something and you do it lousy, but you do it 3 times, one of those 3s happen, then it's better outcome than you never start doing.
And are you like a quality person or numbers like the more quantity?
Yeah.
You don't know?
It's better to judge others, right? So,
no, but yeah,
of course, I also want to kind of be. You have to build it more. Like,
you preach one thing.
I feel you.
But at the same time, of course, it's easier to always to say, right, I will prepare better. But seriously, I think working with some salespeople in enterprise, it is not actually that common. I think. What is your experience like? How do you prepare for these sales meetings? Maybe you use even some AI tools from that? And what is your process on going into some enterprise discussions, or like if you talk with banks or financial institutions, like it's probably not just like get a meeting and go in. There is something that you do, right?
Yeah, of course. But I think in the big picture, you have to like keep in mind the elements or the kind of the moving points. What is the important thing to kind of learn more about what is your background, so I can have a bit better small talk with you in coffee.
What kind of information are you trying to get?
So I mean, like to kind of make a better relationship with you. That's a good point. Yeah, that's kind of the cherry on the top. But the
you can use deep research just to find like what kind of hobbies you have, right? Like and stuff like that. Have you tried this?
I was once in like a Nordic Business Forum, and there was like this lady from Morgan Stanley, I think, the huge bank, very kind of charismatic person, and she said that sometimes like very kind of small things matter. She was singing gospels, and she kind of before arriving the meeting, she had some small talk about like singing, and actually that was the thing what kind of made the deal in the end of the day. So I mean, like
there are of that. Like we also have these systems where by the way, my producer always says not to say this, but let's do this. And so we do have these contact center systems where actually we see that sales happen when there is a positive mood. Basically, you would never sell somebody, especially something that is valuable, expensive deal. If the person is angry, if the person is in negative mood, you first need need to get them in the right mood, and then you close the sale.
Yeah. You need to copy the other person. You have to kind of respond in similar way.
The empathy, the mirroring, all of these. And by the way, AI can do this nowadays.
Yeah, perfect. So I think if we talk about like what is the best kind of customer service person, I think by far is AI tools should like surpass human like.
I have a hypothesis that people will better talk with AI robots than human customer service in many cases.
I think for sure, because I mean, like customer, like robot, let's call it like that. He knows your every single interaction with the company since forever.
Yep.
He never went for a smoking break.
Yep.
He never went to a maternity leave and then dropped out for 2 years. He can, as your like pitch patterns, for example, track the mood or swings. What is your kind of how you build the conversation. So I think it's far superior. The strength is very much there. Yeah.
We actually do right now one pilot. We'll see what is the results where. You call in and the system says press 1. It should not even say that, but it says press 1 to talk with human, press 2 to talk with robot. We'll see because maybe somebody will press 2 for the curiosity, right? Okay. But then if there's a great experience, maybe they will keep pressing it because like the robots nowadays, this is not the same robots like a few years ago. They're like open-ended questions and stuff like that. Do you think the AI and the AI models will someday replace the gut feeling?
This is actually. Have you actually ever experienced this when you do a lot of calculations in big Excels for several hours, and then you meet an industry veteran who just like took a look at it and basically made the same guesstimate as you with the large calculations in background? I have. It's like quite magic, and to be honest, I would also want to be that guy when I'm old.
Well, this is right. Interesting.
There is actually quite big strength in like not being that much data.
You're able to judge quickly, but the AI systems nowadays, like if you give, especially ChatGPT, which can generate Python code and then execute it on Excel, for example, and if you're an Excel guy, one advice for you, hopefully you already found this, if you want to work with these large models that generate Python code, you need to prepare that all columns are header column. There's not merged columns. There's no multiple layers of headers. If you do that, it's great. And then you put it in, and then it can do factor analysis. It can do all sorts of like anomaly detections, anything. And it can do it quite slowly right now. But if it could do it like immediately like that, then it kind of resembles what you said.
Yeah, I mean, like the gut feeling as such is, I think, a beautiful thing. You kind of, if you kind of understand how the stuff works. For example, birds fly to Africa during wintertime. You kind of understand or like build with your gut feeling what is the kind of the process and what is the outcome. Obviously, it's not like scientifically kind of correct, and the numbers are not with like several digits after comma, but like on a large scale, sometimes when you get the results which are close to the reality, I think it's magic.
You know, I think there's even more than that. Like, if you would have asked me to find gut feeling, I would say that there is more inputs than just limited, as you said, like Excel or some kind of data. Like, probably the person that came and give you a guesstimate know something about the company, about the industry, about everything else. And this is the same as when you definitely also had this experience when you have like a deal on your table and you kind of feel that maybe I should go with this deal. And you have like kind of like gut feeling, I don't like something about it, like about the person, about the situation. And this is like these signals which are all around us, right? And which is probably at some point, if we could feed AI every single personal aspect of us, it could kind of replicate. But do we want to do this? That is another area. So you talked about data. The data is not always great. Also, the signals are not always great. How do you incentivize, from the leadership perspective, team to be honest and give you like the bad news as well, not only the good news? Like if your data is not clean, if the numbers doesn't add up, it's a bad sales, some other stuff. stuff. Is there any formula you found as a leader to not put them under the rug?
I don't. To be honest, I think that's more like a cultural thing. It's like
You never had such problems.
I think there shouldn't be such problems. You have to be like quite open. Of course, like if you like, have you experienced a problem that someone like sees, oh, this is like going very bad, and it's like no, I won't show it to Evalds. Like he will be very mad at me. Have you?
I need to think about it. But I think sometimes people just even not intentionally do this. Like, for example, they don't pay enough attention or care about some things, and then they go wrong. And then I need to somehow incentivize people to pay more attention to some things. And AI can help there as well. But this gut feeling and intuition, there's even books written about it, like Daniel Kahneman's Fast and Slow Thinking, Slow and Fast Thinking, right? Nobel laureate in economics, right? He argues actually that no person is rational, but there is this thing. So, from your experience, do you have any practical examples where data and intuition comes together?
I think there's like a pretty kind of nice example was in Wandu Finance. We had to choose next markets where we go for. There was like plenty of desktop research done per each country. There was like the population, what is the internet accessibility, what is like various kind of competition, legal background, etc., etc. So like data points, like a lot for each country. There was like even like some sort of ranking mechanism made that based on those factors, on like this is very good, this is better, this is blah blah. You can make a list of countries where you would go for.
Yes.
So this was like all prepared, but in the end of the day, actually, we had like a management meeting where we went through that. We made selection of 3 countries totally based on different stuff and kind of different kind of aspects of each country. So I think totally makes sense. Why? Because like in the end of the day, you have to be accountable for this result. You have to have some kind of what is the most important thing in each of the section, or there is also kind of need to afterwards be like ready to kind of support this decision to move this particular country without like hesitation. It's like very hard to explain. There was like this algorithm prepared by some data guy, and like this country appeared second on the list. That's why we also selected it. So it's weird.
But you're saying that you did all of this work and then you ignored all of this work.
Yes, because like extra elements appeared there. For example, someone has like some background information. There was like some weird twists on competition, etc., etc. So
what countries did you choose?
Let's keep it separate. But the one country, for example, Peru, was launched, and it's quite successful now.
Oh, so okay, so they went with gut feeling and it was successful.
There was like mix of elements was chosen. Let's call it like that.
But was the Peru top 10?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, of course.
So there is something of that.
Yeah, but it was not number 1.
Right.
That's the point.
But there is a mix of that, so it's not just blindly choosing something.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the operations. So the banking, fintech, healthcare, all sorts of cool stuff you did. Where do you see any biggest wins for AI? Maybe you have seen in the past, or you see in the future. Any ideas?
Yeah. So like where to invest in operations? You mean like that part? I think like there are like very kind of good examples in the past as well. I have also like a 6 Sigma lean kind of certificate, so I'm kind of a effectology kind of guy, and I very much kind of like to save money, for example. And I think there are like elements which are like really old and nothing new. Like for example, credit decision making engines, right? They are, I think, beautiful in terms that they both save the resources and actually make the end result for the customer much better. So it's like you can like have an instant credit decision like 24/7, almost instantly during the night versus manual process
you
on
sleep
Monday.
at night, you wake up, and then you think like, I need to buy that car, and then I just press your app and immediately get credit or something like that.
Micro lending, that's how it happens. Yeah.
Or like do you have statistics how often people ask for credit during the night?
Actually, during the weekends, that is a bit higher period. Yeah.
Oh,
it's dependent on various.
Coming out like you need some like notification while people are sleeping. You have a special offer.
Yeah, crazy like that. But that is like the for example, on this part of the business, that is actually true. And the point is that this kind of both saves you money and creates the product much better. So that's, I think, a very good example where to invest. So, and then to be honest, I think we are like really kind of moving into that direction that I think customer service now is like almost kind of maybe automated. I think not really like totally omni-channel kind of principle that customer contacts you in any way and you give some response in an automated way. But I think the next cool thing would be like to automate also sales processes. I think to make like a lot of calls, whatever the hour, whatever the peak time you want to do it, you can do it all them simultaneously, omni-channel, whatever. So I think that's a beautiful thing.
And then everybody will have their own AI robot assistant.
Who answers.
And they will negotiate.
And I think in the end of the day, actually good results might happen because like on the background, that's like basic economics, like supply and demand, and most probably they'll meet somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, it's always better to have some kind of advantage over equilibrium, but it as you say right now, it is opportunity. Not everybody is using the opportunity, but soon everybody will catch up. I agree.
Have you already kind of launched your robot AI sales?
We do have products with enterprises primarily. Enterprise sales processes, is a little bit different. Usually I need to go through like 10 stakeholders and stuff inside the organization. It's not just something that I can sell like a credit on one call. But everything that is B2C related, excellent. We have lots of companies who are doing the debt collection, the cold calls, the all sorts of like telcos, financial institutions, medical institutions, rescheduling your appointments, getting information, even sometimes operations you would not expect, like for example, a private, some kind of high-end VIP services where people want personal responses in emails and so on, but they even don't realize that all of the responses are generated by AI. Even if you add this disclaimer or something, they're happy with it. They don't need to go to the website. They have their own process. So this is all happening now.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. So you mentioned about these very insightful AI solutions to estimate the credit scores, give out credits. How far can we go with predictive analytics before it becomes like creepy? Like, or is it already creepy with all of the data you have?
I think it is very creepy. Of course, I think like for example, when you have like ad personalization, I think no one really understands what exactly we are being personalized on. So it's totally very creepy. I'm not sure whether I can kind of express everything, but we were gathering, for example, information on account balance status of the customer. So you can basically predict the moment of the month when the customer runs out of the cash, and that would be the moment when you actually try to sell something on him. Our data science team was calculating, for example, retention score. That's the probability of you to kind of come up with a second deal with us. So based on that, you either give or don't give the discount, or kind of pay more kind of effort on the sales at that moment. So of course, I think it's very creepy. I think it's very creepy.
Yeah, and you were from what you're saying, it seems that you were successful on predicting this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is even crazy. Like everybody is telling that the Google and the Apple is listening to you and stuff, right? But this is you can attest to this. Like even from just your bank account balance, you can get so much information. Basically, if you combine with some data points, we can even predict like what you would like to buy next thing probably and stuff of that. And then people think that phone is listening me, but actually it's you don't even need listening phone. You just need some data points, and you're able to predict stuff, right?
Yeah, and the reality actually that there's like a lot of data points about you available. Like when you start some interaction, there's basically you use primarily the same that you make for the credit decision making kind of engine, and you just like run with a different kind of main aim, which is like, for example, repeated deal.
Yep.
The end result is
You
actually
have
very
Apple
accurate.
as well, application or just website, or I mean, like, is there any interesting ways where you can collect data and predict stuff?
It's, for example, for Vandu Finance, when you can apply for a credit, you give permission to collect a lot of data about you, and at that moment you get like several thousands of data points. So some of them are calculated, and that's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, but again, nobody is forced to do this. Like, if you have a great product, great offer, people actually use this, and at the end, in the best case scenario, it's win-win. So, this is a good thing. From what you explained so far, it's interesting to hear your thoughts. Can AI really understand the customer needs?
Yeah, I think we already bit touched that, but I think AI is the perfect customer service guy, maybe one day also the perfect sales guy, because he listens, he understands what is your kind of intention at that particular moment. Are you angry, happy, or whatever, knows all the background and can calculate a lot of outcomes and kind of things on that. So I think, yes, for sure.
Yep. There's also these famous quotes. Maybe you have also heard of this, like when Steve Jobs, right? He says like, the customer doesn't know what he needs. I tell customer what he needs. You know, like these. Have you heard of this this stuff? Like there's always like even with the Ford, right? Like everybody was wanting faster horses, not car, or things where on the extrapolating on previous data is not enough to bring somewhere forward people, right? So as we talked before, there's always this AI and human aspect where some thought leader can bring us further away from the distribution that is just in the data.
Yeah.
Right? You would agree on that?
I agree.
Okay, so you mentioned your team is already building all sorts of AI stuff. So for other listeners in different business fields, like how do you decide when to buy or build yourself?
I think it depends, of course, on the capacity that you have. But for sure, like if this is like there is a lot of change in the process, and you have to kind of take into consideration that you will need to adapt and change the process quite heavily. So if you can buy something that you can adapt, then maybe that makes sense. But quite often it's build only. But this is, of course, a big investment.
Yeah, so you have capability of doing that. But again, like especially for fast-moving technologies, often one philosophy is that you as you deploy some ready stuff, you can learn faster rather than build something that takes a huge investment and then discover some paths.
Very healthy to kind of get some revenue.
Yeah, especially like definitely need to be some ROI there. Yes. Kind of like normal, like as you with AI hype in that sense that not in the. I think the hype is in that way where there's so many AI solutions that doesn't make sense in revenue-wise, and it need to be very smart on filtering out things that are worth trying out and others. Okay, so on that topic, what is your strategy of avoiding vendor lock-ins? Like, for example, in the Europe, there is a strong lock-in on Microsoft products. Mm-hmm. Like they are trying to push Copilot wherever they can, even though the Copilot doesn't solve 99% of the problems, but they're trying to somehow integrate it somewhere so that you would very hard to get rid of it. So how you deal with vendor lock-ins?
I think on general, I think as long as your business runs well, it's like you don't really care about that because you can like basically cover the premium that you need. But what we have done quite extensively is like, for example, when you have like different vendors, like I don't know, supplier who kind of gives you a possibility to send out SMS or calls in like country X and country other, whatever. So then you have at one moment you just like can basically calculate and push them and can, hey, like your prices are too steep, let's change. So if you're not like super locked in,
if you're in different geographical locations, different partnerships, then you have options.
For example, what we did, we did like a very like high level calculation, like total cost per sale, and then you can make an element of it. For example, telecommunications, and then you compare one country versus another country, and you see like, whoa, something odd's happening here. And then you can basically go there and like, oh yeah, it's like the rates are odd.
How many countries are you right now?
For Vandu Finance, it was only like 3, then now it's open the 4th, and 2 more are up running. But I'm out of Vandu Finance, so it's not my cup of tea.
Okay.
Inside distribution, we are actually covering the whole Baltics and also the CIS market, but CIS market is dead now because of the war and stuff, so Baltics basically.
Okay, Baltics, but you had experience in others. So if you compare the medical field and fintech field, they're both regulated, both very difficult fields. So where the AI have the most advantage and where it's moving faster?
I think it more depends on not the industry, but on actually the company or kind of the person using it, where it's more hungry and more eager to kind of do something. It happens faster. Like for example, in finance, you have like big lazy banks who move slowly like dinosaurs and do not kind of want to change because they could end up in huge compliance issues, and then they're like fintechs who could like explore new things basically every week. So it's.
But there is something to this. Maybe check on you. What do you think about that? Like I was recently in one of very high quality theater productions where basically they had one thought from philosopher there that progress moves ahead because of personalities, not because of the systems. Because like you also have Sigma, the certificate and stuff, right? Usually everybody preaches that you set up the systems, right? And then the systems work and produce results. But actually, if you look back in history, many cases, actually something happened because there was one extremely motivated person who was pushing like boundaries and getting the systems is just a secondary layer. And if there is, as you said, like it could be old like institution, it could be a new institution, but if there is the right person there, the right leader, he can bring it faster than all of the competition. Do you see that in the business and your experience as well?
Yeah, for sure, of course. And also I think the size of the company matters a lot. It's a kind of absolutely different story to kind of experiment. If you're small, you're not risking that much on something. If you're like big and compliant and regulated, it's like...
Yeah, there is that on that, but you could argue like the moon program or nuclear program or something. You had nuclear experience. Like you could also say, oh, it's too big, too regulated, but somebody did it. So it is possible to do it even if you have huge regulations, even a huge machine. There is one person who is like super motivated. He can, I think history shows that even nowadays you can see some personalities that do what everybody says he will not be able to do.
But technically, like the Manhattan Project, for example, one of the biggest projects in history is basically there was a very clear need to do that and motivation to do that. So then it.
But there was also a handful of people who were like. Leading the effort,
capable of doing that.
Like of course they had huge teams, but so this is interesting. This is kind of counterintuitive. I think like all of the modern theories say that build systems, build systems, but then if you don't have these couple of people who drive these systems, then you just like everybody is responsible to everything. So
lunatics that kind of move forward something.
There is something to that. About the new developments, the Google published that they have new cancer treatments generated by AI. Then previously Microsoft had this medical superintelligence where just a few dollar robot, a few dollar cost diagnosis prediction was twice as better than doctor. And then if you pay $4,000 for one diagnosis, then it's like 4 times better than doctor because it makes many cycles, many integrations. So, IQ tests, you can quickly find out there's like the latest GPT-5 Pro, it's like 140 plus IQ. It's kind of like feels that there's like no limits to this, like that AI is taking over everything that is like humanly possible. What's your reflection on this? Do you see that any kind of areas where there are limitations?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think from the calculation point of view, I think, for example, in medical area, like in terms of diagnostics or in terms of genetics, there's like a lot of discoveries to be made because human mind cannot calculate it in a way that machines can do. For example, I recently saw there is this picture of how many genomes are being translated. Like basically, that's like a exponential growth, exactly. So in that area, I think we will have very, very kind of exciting news. But I think there is an element of all this. For example, let's keep to the medical area. When you, for example, wake up after a surgery, and then you the first thing, you have an iPad next to you and you do a medical checkup. How do you feel? Or there's a nurse coming to check up on you.
But it could be a robot,
who never experience what is pain, for example.
But it could be really convincing psychological education to that robot. So basically, it could be super empathic robot. It could come.
But that's a robot. So I think in the end of the day, that's the limit. I think there are some areas where you would actually feel better that it is not calculated, and that is actually empathic, similar human being as you.
I think I was talking with some doctors. They also said that one part of their work is actually listening all of these emotional stuff from the patient, and as you say, it kind of helps them to get better. But now the question is if you cannot replicate it, because even maybe you have heard this recently, they now have these embodied robots, like this. The Norwegians now just created this Neo robot, right? Which you can rent as a robot as a service. It's in your home. It cleans up stuff. It's limited. It cannot do everything. Like if it's try to, I don't know, hit the window, it would prevent it or something. But it is remotely controlled by some workforce far away with low price and so on. You could put it some like medical nurses, like just the Neo robots coming in, and they can listen to you, they can interact with you. Is it not enough?
I think humanoid robots may be quite useful. I think BMW had humanoid robot working for a couple of months.
Figure One, this robot company, which I think was 16 billion valuation or some sick valuation.
So basically he has hands and legs and all the kind of infrastructure is built for him, so he can do stuff in a very optimal way. But I think there is this human interaction kind of aspect at one moment which kind of makes the difference a bit. Also, I think very important is that there's this accountability effect of all this. I think obviously sorry friends doctors, but I kind of believe that for diagnostics, you can make better kind of results with AI. For example, you see a X-ray and you already track patterns which are kind of almost non-visible to the human eye because you have been learning on millions of these pictures. But in the end of the day, someone has to be accountable and to sign off the prescription.
Exactly.
That is the element of where maybe the human really makes sense to keep him.
The accountability will be a huge thing in the future. I think the first thing where you can experience is buy new Tesla, for example. The last 2 years when they have hardware 4 on now they say hardware 5, which is fully autonomous, excellent driving. In Europe, they have all of these annoying requests of putting your hand on the wheel. But in America, as was a couple of months ago in Denver, in America, just type in address, it drives you without touching the wheel. Fantastic. And there's accountability. You use this system and then you take accountability. If this system crashes somewhere, it's on you. But basically, you are willing to do this because it's so great, basically. So it's worth it. I think it will be the same with different AI processes.
And also, I think, there is like a thing which is called like a human factor, right? Human factor, you can make some errors. You still kind of employ a lot of people, they do something, and there's like human error, and they kind of make errors. So I think you also have to think about like AI systems, that there is an element of error there, and you have to take that in consideration. Sometimes it's tough. For example, if the car drives you in the pole, or the doctor kind of made an error. So there are some elements where maybe like the accountability part is...
Okay, but then what kind of decisions you would not trust AI to do for you?
I think the opinions on my healthcare, I think they ideally should be like very much assisted, but like the end like sign off, I would very much be happy if that's a real doctor whom I trust to do that. Do you believe that?
I'm just thinking like what will be the threshold where I would be rather taking responsibility. I think
it differs, right?
Not that far in the future, I think. On the same topic, we could explore hypothetical if the AI would predict something that is statistically right, the data would support it fully, but then you would still have this human aspect. What do you think of that?
I think there's a very nice quote made by Mr. Joseph Stalin. He said that death of a person is a tragedy, death of a million people is statistics. So I think you really need to apply common sense and also on the statistics, right?
We still don't know how this will end up. Like where is the human, where is the machine, where will be the balance, right? But towards the end, let's do some fun questions as well, okay? What's the one trend you think about AI that people are getting wrong?
I think that it can operate without context or data.
What would you tell your younger self 5 years ago about AI?
Very stupid one. I would buy a NVIDIA stock.
NVIDIA stock? That maybe you should buy now.
Yeah.
Would you rather trust AI to drive you with a car or drive your investments?
I think drive the car somehow better. I don't know why.
Because you're in the business, you know how complex it is. If you would be building the self-driving car, maybe you would. Yeah. I'm always very scared of one thought. Like now I have a self-driving Tesla, and I was thinking like, if I would know any of engineers in Tesla, I don't want to deliberately ask the question if they're driving driverlessly themselves.
Yeah, maybe you know too much, right?
Yeah, it's always like if you know too much, the life becomes harder. I read somewhere that you like motorsport, right?
Yeah.
So what is better thrill, motorsport or aviation?
Motorcycles.
What kind of motorcycles?
I have two. I have the dirt bike and I have the road bike. So yeah, that's the thrill, definitely.
Terminator or Wall-E, you know, this friendly robot.
Yeah. I think we as humans are like very selfish. So I think somehow like something bad will happen in the end.
With AI.
Yeah.
Oh. What's some contrarian or like contradictory the belief that not many people believe about AI that you hold?
I somehow hate that everyone like thinking that's already ready and doing all the stuff like a magic wand, but it's not like.
Yeah, it's not ready. Yeah. I agree. What's your favorite tiny automation?
Very basic. It's meeting notes. Sorry.
On the same topic of bikes, like manual gearbox or EV.
For sure, to transport yourself during working days, EV, but on weekends, manual gearbox. For sure.
This goes into finance, P2P funding or bonds.
Yeah, P2P, of course. I'm like it depends how long you have time to invest until your kind of end result. So I consider myself not that old to kind of be in the conservative portfolio to P2P. Yeah.
Okay. Are you do A/B tests or bold bets?
Would be very fun to say big bold, but A/B, yeah.
Like you're the data guy, you cannot say wrong stuff. So there's read somewhere also that you like to travel. So Riga sunset or Alpine sunset?
Just sunset.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Robot doctor or real doctor?
Yeah, robot diagnostics, real doctor interaction.
Would you rather argue with ChatGPT or your accountant?
This is a good one. Definitely, actually, ChatGPT, because accountants don't kind of believe that they're wrong.
There is something of that. Like, but ChatGPT always thinks that you're right.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to make it disagree with you. And this is actually by design. It's trained in that way. If your AI had a voice, would it sound like this robot GPS voice or Morgan Freeman?
Of course, Morgan Freeman. That's the best voice.
Would you rather allow AI to babysit your plans or bank account?
I hate plants.
Because all you need AI to babysit plans.
Maybe let's.
Which breaks first, your business process or your patience?
Patience. Very short fuse.
If AI could read your thoughts right now, would it quit your job?
I think he would do it this weird thing of I'll come with an answer 16 hours later, and then after 16 hours I'll come with another answer 16 hours later.
So like this magic 8-ball, like ask again later.
Yeah. So it's not really quit, it's same.
Would you rather let AI to choose your next hire or your next vacation?
Vacation, of course.
Have you tried it?
Yeah, like when you kind of I'm there and like driving there and like route me through the best kind of scenery things.
I recently was thinking like that AI could be used in the way that, you know, like if booking, you look for certain places, right, with some amenities, right? But then you could just ask some area and ask the GPT to do research on, well, let's say, what are some aqua parks or some other places around there, and then just like choose some hotel which you would not choose naturally, because it's not like that. There's also things around there, not just in hotel.
Exactly. I was also kind of asking, for example, there were two routes from Madrid to Rioja, and I said, which route is more scenic? I want to kind of have good view. I think yes.
Excellent. Good tricks. If your AI assistant was very emotional, would you like him to be sarcastic or anxious?
Sarcastic, more fun.
Would you rather AI to say, I told you so, or judge you silently?
I told you so.
Better be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
If your car had an AI, would it complain about your driving style or your playlist?
Definitely driving style. I was like using Bolt Drive one day, and they complained about my driving style. Have you used them?
Well, I tried Bolt, but
they give you a drive score.
Oh, I did not see this.
Yeah, so you were speeding, you were doing that, like your drive score is like.
They should somebody should start doing this with the insurance companies. I don't know, like.
Yeah.
Somebody should do it.
Maybe they already do it in China.
But it's not that bad. So okay, it was super interesting to talk to you. We're on this journey of AI, and you're definitely in it, and you have really interesting use case with fintech. So where people can find you?
I have like everywhere on social kind of platforms. Not very active, but at least if you want, then I'm there.
Yeah. So contact Mārtiņš so on these issues, and thank you for joining.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for watching this episode. As gratitude for our work, subscribe, like. And we do have also AI tips videos. Check out those where we show how to use AI. Bye-bye.